Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Stromness and I am doing my presentation on Gail Halvorsen. He was the candy bomber. Just a little bit about him. He was born on October 10th of 1920 in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he is still alive, and I think he's 94 or 95 now. He served in the U.S. Air Force from 1942 through 1974. He reached the rank of colonel, and he served in World War II and the Berlin Airlift. He received the Congressional Gold Medal and the Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany. He grew up on a few small farms in Rigby, Idaho, and in Garland, Utah, and his parents were Basil K. and Louisa Spencer Halvorsen. Just here's some information about his military training. First, he earned his private pilot license from the Civilian Pilot Training Program. That was in September of 1941. Around that same time, he decided to join the Civil Air Patrol as a pilot, and later he joined the United States Army Air Corps in May of 1942. When he was 22 years old, he went to Miami for training with 25 Royal Air Force pilots, and that was at the No. 3 British Flying School. After that training to be a fighter pilot, he returned to the Army Air Corps. There he was assigned flight duties in foreign transport operations in the South Atlantic Theater. Then he was ordered to Germany on July 10th of 1948. This was for the Operation Vittles, which is now known as the Berlin Airlift. Lieutenant Halvorsen's role in the Berlin Airlift was to fly one of the many C-54 cargo planes which were used to ferry supplies into Berlin. During his flights, he would first fly to Berlin and then deeper into the Soviet-controlled areas. He was very interested in photography, and whenever he had a day off, he often liked to go sightseeing in Berlin. And in July, one day, he was filming plane takeoffs and landings. While there, he saw about 30 kids lined up behind one of the fences. He went to meet them, and he realized that they had nothing. He said, "I met about 30 children at the barbed wire fence that protected the Tempelhof's huge area. They were excited and told me that when the weather gets so bad that you can't land, don't worry about us. We can get by on a little food, but if we lose our freedom, we may never get it back." He was very touched by this, and he reached into his pocket and he found 2 sticks of gum. He gave them to the kids, and the kids broke it into lots of little pieces so they could share it. And there was lots of kids who didn't get any of it, but those kids, they just smelled the wrappers. He watched the children, and many of them had absolutely nothing, but they were very grateful. And he regretted not having more to give them. He wanted to do more for the kids, and he told them that the next day he would have enough gum for all of them, and that he wanted to drop it out of his plane for them. Some of the kids wondered, "How will we know it's your plane?" And he said that the way they know that it was his plane was that he would wiggle his wings. He had done this in 1941 when he first got his pilot's license, and he did it for his parents. That night, Halvorsen, his co-pilot, and his engineer, they all pooled their candy rations, and since the candy was heavy and they didn't want to hurt the kids with the falling candy, they used handkerchiefs and made them into parachutes. And the next day, they dropped the candy after the regular supply drops, and they dropped 3 boxes, which were all attached to handkerchiefs. And they did these drops every week for 3 weeks. And every week, the group of kids that would wait at the airport fence grew a lot. When the word reached the airlift commander, Lieutenant General William H. Turner, he ordered it to be expanded into Operation Little Vittles, and that was a play on the words, the airlift's name of Operation Vittles. It was in effect from September 22nd of 1948 through May 13th of 1949. The American candy bombers became known as the Raisin Bombers, and Halvorsen became known by many nicknames that the children of Berlin gave him, but some of those were Uncle Wiggly Wings, Chocolate Uncle, the Gumdrop Kid, and the Chocolate Flyer. In total, it is estimated that the Operation Little Vittles was responsible for dropping over 23 tons of candy from over 250,000 parachutes. Halvorsen's life, and especially his work with Operation Little Vittles, had a profound impact on many, many lives, both in the United States and throughout the world. After his official retirement in 1974, Halvorsen continued to serve the local, national, and international community in a variety of ways. Thanks for watching my presentation. When I was researching Gail Halvorsen, this Wikipedia article was very helpful, and to learn about him and his life and the dropping candy. And I also read this Wikipedia article on the Berlin blockade that was very helpful to learn more about the circumstances. And also in the movie Meet the Mormons, there is a section about Gail Halvorsen, and it's called The Candy Bomber, and I used that too. Thanks for watching.